Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 1. So each week I will record a video that just goes over the module, kind of the expectations, what the assignments are about, why we're doing them, that kind of thing, and giving you some tips for completing things in the class. A lot of students find these videos very helpful because I often answer questions that they have and then they don't need to email me or anything in order to find the answer. So I'm just going to go over some stuff like beginning stuff for the class and then get into Module 1. So when you open the class, obviously first page, I do post announcements pretty regularly, at least 2 per week, if not more. So it's expected that you log in regularly to see them. My contact information is down here. I do have my office phone number on here as well as my cell phone for texting and then my email address. If you want to just send me an email, typically email is the easiest way to get a hold of me. On the side, you can see the syllabus for the class is the first thing that you should go to because that's going to contain the important information for the class. And so you do want to make sure that you scroll all the way down. It does say it's awaiting approval, but you should be able to see it when you log in. You'll scroll all the way down, and at the bottom there will be an acknowledge button so that I can see that you have read the entire syllabus. And then the next thing you want to do is go to the modules tab. So to get started in the class, we do have a getting started section that kind of goes over some stuff for Alan. If you've taken an Alan class before, this will all be review. One change that they did make is over here on the side, you can see Alan email. This is a link directly to your Microsoft 365 Alan email account. Once you've signed in, it should be single sign in, so you don't have to sign in again. So that's just kind of a nice way to get straight to your email without having to backtrack and go through, some link on the website or something like that. So take advantage of that. And then your inbox over here goes through Canvas. So typically we say Alan email is better to use for emailing, but you can also use your inbox to contact your instructors. So a couple other things about the class. We do have one textbook for the class, and that's this e-textbook, the new Harbrace Guide. This is a link through Cengage, and so when you click on it, you will have to start a Cengage account if you don't have one already. It will be linked through your Alan email, so there's some information on using course textbooks there. And then the next thing that you need to do is start going through the academic honesty module. So the academic honesty module, all the other modules are locked until you go through this module. So you have to click on each page. You want to make sure that you're reading the information. If you've taken Comp 1 with me, you probably will know all of this already. But if you are new to Alan, if you're new to our classes, then all of this will be new. So make sure that you are going through all of the information so that you understand the policies for the class and the consequences for violating the academic honesty policy. I have a couple of scenarios that I want you to look at as well, particularly thinking about, how does AI affect academic honesty in general? And so, and there will be a lot of stuff about AI in this class because we can't avoid it, unfortunately. There is some information on your Turnitin report. This report will generate once you submit essays in the class. And so if you've ever wondered what those little flag colors mean, this is information about that. And if you ever have a question about it, you can always send me an email. And then I do have the AI policy for this class. I use assignment levels. So each assignment is assigned a level of AI use that's allowed. There are not going to be very many that are level 3. So level 1 is probably the one you'll see the most. And that is basically, you can use Grammarly to help you proofread your essay, and that's about it. I don't want any other excessive use of AI resources. I don't want you rewriting your sentences with AI. I want to see your own authentic writing. There are a few assignments where you'll get to use AI specifically for that assignment, and the directions will be in there. And then there's more information about just, how I penalize, that kind of thing, and just keeping in mind what it means for your grade. When you are done here, then you need to mark this as done, saying that you do understand how to be an ethical scholar and that you are prepared for the consequences if you violate the policy. So then once you're done with that, you can actually get into module 1. And module 1, you'll see my video will be posting here, and then you can go through each page of the module. There's a lot of information here in module 1, but most of the assignments are just introductory. So we start with just beginning semester reflection email, and that is just to give you, give me mostly an introduction to you, and you're going to give me some aspects of your writing that you feel are strengths and weaknesses and that kind of thing. And so you just email this to me and follow the directions there. Once you are done with that, you don't turn anything in there, so you can mark it as done if you want once you have sent the email. And then the discussion board, introduction discussion board, we are encouraged to post some pictures, tell your class about yourself, that kind of thing. This is kind of a standard thing. And then we do have the academic honesty quiz, which a lot of your classes will have something similar to this. And so you may, this hopefully will be some review for you. Once you're done with that, so those are kind of the easy assignments. We're going to get into the first essay here in the first module. This will span 3 modules. So all your essays in this class will have multiple modules for them, and we're going to go through the same process for each one. We start with a brainstorm, then we move to the outline stage, then we do a rough draft that you self-edit, and then you might do a peer edit, not for all of them, but some of them you'll do a peer edit, and then a final draft, and then a post-writing phase. And so each step of the process has to be completed if you want a good grade on the essay. The steps in the process are, once you see you can go to the grades and see how much everything's worth. You'll notice that a lot of the assignments are worth a similar weight. So the final draft of the essay is really not worth that much more than the self-edited rough draft. And so the reason for that is because I want you, the most valuable thing that you can take out of this class is learning to go through the process to get your thoughts down in a coherent way, and so that people can understand what you're writing about. So what you're going to do to start with for this essay is first read the criteria. So each essay is going to have a criteria sheet that just tells you, what you're looking at for the essay itself. And then we'll go through the process after that point. So we're really focused here on critical thinking and rhetorical analysis. So rhetorical analysis means breaking down the author's strategy for creating an argument. So what is the situation that prompted them to write this article? What sort of techniques do they use? What sort of evidence do they use? How do they appeal to the audience? All of that. You're not summarizing the article, and you're not arguing your own argument using their topic. You are breaking down their argument to discuss it. So it's a different type of writing, and some students get themselves really confused when they start this essay. And so hopefully going through the process of writing will help you out a little bit, make sure that you're not getting off track. I do have a section on just understanding rhetorical analysis. There's some stuff in the textbook as well. So what you're going to do is a brainstorm. This brainstorm is going to ask you to go into the textbook. And once you're in the textbook, you'll find part 5, which is real situations for real writing. And so if you open up the textbook, you get in your Cengage account, it's going to look like this. You'll see part 5 down here is just a section. It's got 5 chapters on just different topics, and each chapter has different articles in it. So you can see these are each separate articles about the topic of food and culture. And so then we have section on social media and gender and that kind of thing. So you can go through there and just kind of browse around. What you're going to do is you're open a Word document, and in your Word document, just make a list, 5 to 7 or so articles that you think are interesting from the ones here in the textbook. So just the title of the article, make sure you get the full title. You can copy and paste them, that's fine. But just full title, just make a list. Once you're done with that, go back through and kind of skim through them and decide which ones you think would be best to read, and read those. On your list, then you can highlight the ones that you actually read so that the next part will make sense. Once you're done with that, then you're going to go down, underneath in the document, and you're going to do a free write. A free write is continuous writing. So set a timer, 10 minutes, and start writing about the articles that you read. I have some questions in here to help get you started thinking about them, but I really don't care what you write about. The point of a free write is to write whatever is on your mind. So you have to leave the squiggly lines in there. Do not correct your errors as you type. It should be full of errors. If you have a program that automatically corrects things for you, turn that off so that you don't get things so you don't have changes that you don't want in there. Make sure that it's messy. Make sure that it's just stream of consciousness, whatever you're thinking. There's no wrong answers. There's no wrong way to write it. As much as you can within that 10 minutes. It should be all over the place. That's what I want. If it's not, you did it wrong and you won't get full credit for it. So this is one of the only times that I'm going to tell you, don't correct your errors in your writing. I want it to be messy. So that's really important here. And you'll see this for every single brainstorm will be just like this. So this is the first step. When we get into the next module, you'll start to outline and draft the essay. For right now, we're just brainstorming. So there's no pressure here. You're just listing some articles, you're reading through them, and then you're writing some stuff that you notice about them. And so this whole first module is kind of like that. It's really just easing you into the content and that kind of thing. So if you have questions as you go through the week, be sure to send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.